to the upcoming inquest? I guess, is it not very confident? Or?
It's kind of a little discouraging to know that what happened to them could happen to us. And the same thing, those recommendations won't be binding, and that the safety won't be there for the children, because it's all about protecting the children for extracurricular activities. That if the jury has the proper information from the witness, and that if we would have legal standing, that questions would have been asked and the jury would be well informed so they can make those recommendations. But knowing that they're not binding, it's discouraging to know that they could be put on the shelf and be sitting there and no protection for the children, and it's not honoring my son in any way.
I just want to say that another major problem was that the Crown Prosecutor and John Evans, who presided as the coroner at this inquest, were supposed to notify the jury that at any time during the inquest they were allowed to call their own expert witnesses should they not be satisfied with the expert witnesses that were given. But they were never provided with the knowledge that they were allowed to do that. So that really hindered the process as well, because if there was information that they weren't satisfied with, they could have.
How difficult has it been leading up to this inquest in terms of going through all the information, learning about the acts, figuring out which questions to form and how to form them? Has it been challenging without being given any sort of legal counsel?
Yes, it has. I've been on the computer 24/7, and I do all the research looking on the Education Act, the policies, the Motor Vehicle Act, and I do all the research, and I put my questions together, and I do have the reconstruction report, and I also got the maintenance report of the E350 van that the Bathurst Van Inc. owned. So I've been doing my research on that, and I've been giving my questions to Greg Forrest about those too.
What has he said to you? I mean, you've given him all this information. You've given, obviously both of you your input. I mean, what has he given to you, back to you?
I'm not quite finished yet either. I still have a lot more questions. I just gave him quite a few pages already, but I have still a lot more. That's just part of the maintenance and the weather, and now I'm into the Bathurst Van Inc. and other people that were involved in that tragedy that night.
If, as it seems that the minister's saying, that this won't change in time for you folks, do you feel confident that the coroner will bring your information before the jury?
Well, I'm hoping they will, because this is very important. The reason why the children were on the road was because the policies were there, and the Motor Vehicle Act was there, and the Education Act was there. And why wasn't it followed? So if that wasn't followed because of the policies in the Education Act, well then there needs to be a lot more forceful than what they had.
There's a lot of facts, and there's a lot of information that's been gathered. What will you tell the minister today, not as collectors of facts, but as the mothers of two boys who were on that van?
That we need changes, and we need better recommendations, and they need to be implemented. So a tragedy like what we had doesn't happen again, and it will continue to happen if not serious consideration is given to that matter. So we'll be coming, because obviously they haven't done enough. It hasn't gotten far enough, as far as the new guidelines that they converted into a policy. It's just a reworded paper. That's all it is. They just changed tires mandatory to recommended to mandatory, and so on. A few words here and there, they just changed it. We compared the two of us, one by one, and really is nothing there. So at this moment, we need the minister to really enforce new law regarding like transporting children, because only a minimum standard shouldn't be okay.